Hello. I'm way too excited to do today's video, so it might be less comprehensible than usual. Um, and the reason I'm so excited, so amped, is not the coffee I just had. It's because Maggie, aka Neville Goddess, released this YouTube video yesterday, um, talking about Neville and SATs. SATs are state akin to sleep. And if you're familiar with Neville at all, which I know most of you watching are, you know that SATs is an important technique that Neville teaches, and something that you don't have to do, but Neville emphasized it a lot, and it's become kind of this thing that the Neville community now emphasizes to an extreme. And Maggie's video yesterday basically was like, fuck all that. And in a hilarious way, like, this is probably recency bias, but it was one of the more critical videos of Neville's approach I've ever watched. And I'll link to it above and below. It's definitely worth watching. And it's just, so it's crazy that that video, which is really not even that critical of Neville, could be considered even remotely the most critical thing that's been said about Neville on YouTube recently. But Maggie's videos and my videos recently, where we're talking about the Neville community and Neville's approach, are probably the most critical thing I've seen, which is pathetic because we both love Neville. That's the irony. But we're in this place now where Neville's been put on an insane pedestal, which he would have probably absolutely fucking hated. And his teachings are being totally misinterpreted, and people are not getting the results that the people teaching his methods are claiming they're going to get. Some people are, but the vast fucking majority are not. And that's one of many reasons that I've stopped responding to comments on YouTube, and I know why Maggie stopped as well, because the amount of horse shit and the lack of critical commentary on this stuff in this YouTube LOA space is fucking pathetic. This is about transforming your life and feeling better. And, whether you get any external changes or not, my hope is that internally you'll start to feel better. That's always been my focus when it comes to this stuff, why I like to counsel and coach people on it, and why I love exploring different ways of doing that. And as most of you know, I mean, if you change on the inside and start to feel better, your life starts externally improving in various ways. That's basically inevitable as far as I'm concerned. But one thing that Maggie said in the video that really hit home for me is she basically was saying that what's so cool about SATs, because I'm not negating, SATs are awesome. I like doing SATs type techniques sometimes, right? What's so cool about a state akin to sleep, and a lot of the stuff that Neville talks about, and I've spoken about this in other videos and obviously in my books and stuff like that, is that when you really imaginatively get into a scene, when you vividly evoke it in your mind's eye, okay, which usually is going to be in a state akin to sleep, where you're lying down or sitting down and are very relaxed, and you evoke this scene imaginally. If you really do that, you'll feel it. It's real now. And what Maggie's saying is that that's the point. And I have another friend who moderates the Neville Reddit, and she did a recent post, which was a great post about revision, and talking about that's the point of revision too, is if you evoke a scene so vividly in your mind, you get to experience it right now. So it's not really, if we get deeply psychological about it, about anything that's going to externally happen to you in the future. It's happening to you right now. And obviously this connects to what I always talk about the abundance of the present moment. Right? And, if you then evoke this feeling over and over again of fulfillment, and if you focus on a specific end result, chances are that, energetically something similar to what you want will show up in your world eventually, right? But that's kind of different and secondary to the point that when you imaginatively evoke something, really do it. Like Neville masterfully describes how to do that. If you really do it, you have it now. It's not coming. It's here right now. Another way of saying that is that like abundance is here right now. If you want to use a spiritual term, God is here right now. You could say health is here right now. Prosperity is here right now. Love is here right now. It's now. And even if you're in a shitty external circumstance, if you're able to relax your mind and body enough to imaginatively evoke this, you can experience it right now. And that's really like so much of the power of Neville's teaching. But in terms of getting a specific external goal, quote unquote, manifesting something, like I have said again and again, I often would recommend utilizing other advice. I'd often recommend utilizing some of the advice that Joseph Murphy shares in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, if you want to use law of attraction advice, or the advice that Maxwell Maltz shares in Psycho-Cybernetics, or Coué's advice. Or, of course, so many of these great self-improvement teachers, their goal-setting advice. And it's probably going to involve more external action and doing more stuff leading to achieving your goal than just imaginatively evoking a scene. Because you can imaginatively evoke a scene and then have that scene play out, right? But, the longer I do this, the less I think that is a regular occurrence for most people. It does happen. But evoking a scene night after night, imaginatively, and feeling it real, in my experiences working with others and for myself, I find that difficult to do. I can evoke a scene imaginatively occasionally, but I can't do it night after night usually. I get bored, or it becomes too pressure-filled or whatever. And you don't fucking need to do that to get an external goal. To get an external goal, you keep in mind what you want externally, right? And you think about it. And you think positively about getting it, and you'll get it, like Coué talks about, like all the great goal setting and goal achiever self-improvement people talk about. Neville's talking about imaginatively feeling it now. And in a way, it's a separate thing altogether. And it's very, very powerful. And I love Neville for teaching that, as well as many other things that he's taught, including the idea that if you assume something, it will gradually, come into your life. An assumption, though false, if you persist in it, will harden into fact. It's very, very powerful. And so evoking a scene imaginatively, if you do it over and over again, will lead to results. But you, as we've been talking about a lot, you're going to be living your life and doing external things. The point of SATs on a deep level, in my opinion, and what Maggie's video touched upon yesterday, and what my friend's post on Reddit about revision touched upon, is that you can feel it right now. Right fucking now. And that's like the magic, if there's magic, right? It's not, twirling the wands in the air. I did SATs, and now I'm going to manifest a girlfriend or boyfriend or, a fucking higher paying job because of SATs. I did SATs once. It can happen. It can happen, but I'd say 90% plus of people fail when they try to do SATs and only do SATs as like their manifesting thing and think of it as like the special manifesting thing. They don't do anything else differently in their life, and they just do SATs because they don't do SATs successfully long term. They get sick of doing SATs. The SATs doesn't feel natural enough. It doesn't feel relaxed, and they don't actually imaginatively evoke it night after night. They have trouble doing that. It becomes too forced. That's why you're better off just relaxing and utilizing whatever the fuck you want to relax, stay focused on what you want externally, but also realize that you can touch that deep sense of fulfillment and relief and relaxation right now. And you can touch that without even evoking a specific scene. You can just feel that idea of health or wealth or prosperity or love or God right now by just sinking into the abundance that is available and always here right now. This is not special. This is just something that most of us don't do. But we can do it. And when we do it, we feel better. So I hope this made some sense. This is why I got into this stuff, you know. I encourage watching Maggie's video. I encourage reading the post that my friend wrote about revision. And enjoy yourself.